right there. And if I had to vote today, and I don't know who all the other superintendents are, I've met a lot of them, but my vote is for you. Thank you very much.
I recently learned that Wakeland has an array of mature young adult fiction, books with sexually graphic material. These books are marketed to girls and boys as young as 13. When I read some of the excerpts, I was shocked, truly shocked, and it takes a lot to shock me. If these scenes in these books were in a movie, the movie would be rated NC-17, prohibiting anyone under 17 to view this really vulgar stuff. I can't understand how these books found their way into a school library. Even if you believe these books offer something insightful on their topics, they are not appropriate for young high school children. Representative Patterson sent a letter to all Texas school superintendents asking them to pledge to take all necessary steps to root out or remove explicit and obscene books. Yet Superintendent Waldrop declined to sign the pledge. School board trustees have stated that the school board depends on the recommendations for reviews from companies including Kirkus Review, School Library Journal, and Booklist. The school board trustee also stated that the school board makes decisions on library books based on ratings and reviews of publishers. Publishers whose primary purpose is to market and increase the sales of their books. Clearly, book reviewers aren't properly vetting these books, and sexually explicit materials ending up in Frisco ISD libraries. What is the superintendent and school board doing to make sure that books are being properly vetted by trustworthy reviewers who act in the best interest of our children? Thank you.
Good evening, Dr. Waldrop, President Archambault, Board of Trustees and ISD. My name is Ann McCausland and I reside at 2209 Crowbridge Drive. I had the honor of serving on the Frisco ISD Board of Trustees from 2011 to 2020. During that time, I had the privilege to work alongside Dr. Mike Waldrop when he first was a deputy superintendent, and then later when he became the superintendent of Frisco ISD in 2017. Mike is a man of extremely high intelligence, which is complemented by his wicked sense of humor. He has consistently prioritized what is best for staff and students, all while navigating the constant curveballs thrown at him, such as COVID-19. He has devoted his life to making a positive and impactful difference for the Frisco ISD community, starting in the classroom and working all the way up to superintendent. Mike brings experience, passion, determination, and a true love for public education. He also brings innovation and vision, such as the community-based accountability system, which is currently in the works. The Frisco ISD community is very lucky to have Mike Waldrop as its superintendent. We are all blessed that Frisco ISD continues to be a destination district for families due to his courage, leadership, and vision. Thank you, Dr. Waldrop. I can assure you that a majority of the Frisco ISD community is very glad that you are leading this great district.
Sherry Salas, followed by Papa Johnson, and then Evelyn Brooks.
Good evening. Sherry Salas, Point Monroe. Okay, so I wasn't sure what I wanted to say tonight because honestly, I had no idea there was anything such as Super of the Year until I read the multiple social media posts that were sent to me and shared with me, and sadly, it had a whole other different narrative than woohoo nomination. So, what I do want to say and ask is, Dr. Wall, if you are awarded such nomination and or are selected as Super of the Year, I want to ask you to take this messaging with you. Sorry. We, as a community, can only control what we say. We cannot control what other people hear. Our classrooms and our children are watching us, our students are watching us. Our classrooms are bombarded with so many things that we as parents never were. Think TikTok, Insta, Twitter, Discord, toxic politics, the Our kids hear what we say and watch what we do. They then take these things with them to the classroom, all 25 plus of them. Our classrooms which are suffering from retention issues. A classroom which at any time can have dozens of emotions and opinions demonstrated throughout the workday for our classroom educators. In closing, I'd like to ask you, Dr. Walder, if you get the TASB nomination, will you please tell everyone, Dr. Walder, TASB nominee, tell everyone present, and tell you as well as everyone present here and watching at home, how is what you are doing or not doing have an impact on our public education classrooms? How do you think what you are saying is being heard by our educators? I'm very aware of, I had so much more to say. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time. Hava Johnson, followed by Ellen Brooks, and then Amanda Reed.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me up here. As you guys know, honesty and transparency are two very important character traits of a leader. And I would like to thank you, Dr. Waldrop, and the board for your recent response to Representative Patterson's pledge letter and verifying the process by which books are recommended, selected, and reviewed in our school libraries. I would also like to thank you for the way that you have shown your unwavering support for our school libraries, librarians, and staff, especially in a time when they're being unfairly attacked and targeted through social media channels and from all the misinformation that is being targeted. Thank you.
Ellen Brooks, followed by Amanda Reed, and then Jeremiah Maskey.
Good evening, trustees, superintendent. It's nice to see your beautiful faces on the cover this evening. I'm very happy that we did jump to item 13 because I'm very furious that we have to debate obscene material in the hands of young people. The penal code in this state, 42.23, 24, and 25, talk about what obscenity is. Obscene and graphic material should not be placed in the hand of our children. We entrust you to safeguard their innocence. You are entrusted with our most precious and valuable children. We work very hard for them. We are all the product of keeping our childhood innocence. But when we send students to school, knowing that there is a possibility that they can go into the library and stumble upon material with graphic, sexual, explicit acts, it's inexcusable. And it should not be allowed. And this district whose name goes around the world, that is who we are. We are not a common district. We care about excellence and education. And we care that our children are not treated as if this is a corporation. This is a school. This is the business of learning. And we have forgotten that. Because there's a lot of money, there's a lot of people in boardrooms making decisions for our young people. And they have no clue what it is like to be a teacher in that classroom. They have no idea the pressure that our children are already suffering from.
Thank you. And what I would like to add is if you signed up this evening you signed up to speak on an action item, and that action item is Act on School Health Advisory Council Wellness Plan. So if you all are here, we'd love to hear your comments on that particular action item. So if you could keep your comments to that, that would be great. Amanda Reed, followed by Jenna Maskey, followed by Tracy Fisher.
Hi there, my name is Amanda Reed, and I've been volunteering in Frisco ISD through the PTA for the last 6 years. I wanted to say I appreciate that Dr. Waldrop has responded to several of my emails about various concerns, even when I disagree with some of your decisions. A really important part of all of your jobs is to make sure good people are in place in the district and then to let them do their jobs. I was really proud of all the students who were recognized tonight, and I was touched by the real connections that the coaches and directors had with their students. I volunteer in my son's elementary school, and I see how hard the teachers in Everett work, their specialized knowledge base, and most importantly, I see that they truly care for the students at the school. My admiration for the Frisco staff extends to our librarians who are equally highly qualified and caring. I appreciated Dr. Waldrop and the board's communication about recent library controversies. You demonstrated that the procedures already in place at our schools are able to respond to parent concerns and keep our kids safe. I hope you will continue to foster good communication between parents and staff so we can all meet the goal of keeping our kids happy, thriving, and safe. Friendly partnership between our parents and teachers will keep our kids safest of all. I hope that moving forward you will stay here and continue to protect our wonderful teachers and the special environments for learning that we've been so that have been so carefully built throughout our district. Thank you for all you do.
Jenna, followed by Tracy Fisher, and then Lee Montgomery.
I was blown away by the kids and their achievements tonight. It was outstanding and so great to see that. And I'm so proud of that. I am a little concerned about the current trajectory that we're going for our littles. I'm not sure that they're getting the same setup that our older kids have. I've witnessed that personally with my kids, and I can see what's happening. And hearing tonight about the concerns about the budget for the teachers and staff's needs, I'd like to propose that we allocate the $500,000 that should go to, or is going maybe to Quaver Ed for elementary health and PE. Let the teachers have that. I oppose adopting Quaver Ed for elementary health and PE. Texas State Board of Education did not approve Quaver because of its overemphasis on SEL and its invasive daily surveys for our kids that would open the door to data mining our kids' very personal information. Quaver itself says all across its website and all through its curriculum, SEL is woven into every lesson for health, for PE, and for 5-year-olds. Examples of kindergarten PE curriculum: daily check-ins on their emotional state and stress levels, their worry levels, which scores the children and tells them how they're doing. For 5-year-olds, an emotional dashboard that they track, gauging stress levels, talking about worrying, and advising the children to go speak to a mysterious, elusive, trusted adult, while never referring to parents or even using the word, not family, not God, just a trusted adult. They're told how to feel, they're told what their score is. They're shown videos on drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, vaping, and gun safety in kindergarten. And my personal favorite was they're told about vaccines.
Thank you for your comments.
Thanks.
Tracy Fisher.
Hi, I'm Tracy Fisher. I'm representing myself. I'm going to read my notes so I say stay on script. I live at 136 Park Valley Court in Pompeii, and it is so good to see all of you in your home. I just want to say wow. I'm here tonight to say thank you. Thank you for submitting Dr. Waldrop's nomination for Superintendent of the Year. As you know, I've actually seen him lead up close and personally when you let him slip out for about 3 years, about 5 years ago, to that little school district down the street. He is patient, thorough, measured, and laser focused on the opportunities and the outcomes for children. He also is responsive to his community, and I saw that tonight again. I and your superintendent. Politics don't belong in a public school board meeting. As has been mentioned, kids are watching the grown-ups. We need to come together to ensure that we lift up the education of all of our children. Tonight's tremendous recognition was evidence of that. This is what public schools do for our communities, our state, and our kids. Tonight you showcased the life skills like perseverance and grit. Public education is a constitutional opportunity for all children in Texas. More than 90% of us attended public schools. We know what a difference our schools make for our communities. Public schools belong to the public. We all have a stake in our schools, and leadership matters. Thank you again for honoring Dr. Waldrop's leadership for the work he does every day for Frisco ISD. Thank you.
Linda Emery, followed by Dustin Pascal, and then Anna Pressig.
There, Linda Montgomery. Okay, hello board. I would like to speak about agenda item 12D1. Recently, Dr. Waldrop was asked about the inappropriate material in the library. He stated that the ultimate authority lies within the school board for district policy. The school board has blamed the recommendation groups and vendors. This type of divided and disjointed leadership confuses teachers, administrators, parents, and students. Inappropriate material and books slip through the cracks, and then we have to scramble for other kids not to be exposed. I addressed all of these concerns last July with Dr. Cunningham and Dr. Newton, and yet still here we are. Whatever process that is going on is not working. I asked for Dr. Waldrop's nomination to be reconsidered based on community input from shareholders, parents, taxpayers, and teachers. Thank you.
Dustin Pascal, followed by Anna Pressig, and then Anna Marie Rose.
Good evening, President Archambault, Board of Trustees, Dr. Waldrop. I'm here to speak tonight in favor of Dr. Waldrop's nomination as Superintendent of the Year. Leadership does not happen by accident, and the excellence of our Frisco ISD schools does not happen by accident. We saw it tonight. We saw what our students achieve. We saw what our students, or what our teachers and our staff members achieve in our schools, and that is not an accident. And we know that Dr. Waldrop has achieved leadership in that regard. Leadership is surrounding yourself with incredibly accomplished and competent individuals to accomplish the tasks that you need them to accomplish. Leadership is raising the next level and the next generation of leaders to take on the mantle when your time is up. And Dr. Waldrop has accomplished those things, and I commend him for that, especially in these incredibly difficult times. So I support his nomination for Superintendent of the Year. Thank you.
Hello. Hi everybody, so excited to see you all. And I just wanted to share, as a taxpayer, I strongly object the software you are planning to purchase for our kids. I spent countless hours last fall sending emails to Texas Board of Education begging them not to implement this software for our kids, only to learn that my own Frisco ISD is progressive enough to adapt the cover ad and the Goodwin Wilcox software. I am thrilled to learn about it, and I know how your DAC committee works. I understand that it is a decided decision, and there is no way to influence the adoption. But it's very painful to know that our school district is doing this to our children. I'm very upset about it. I'm upset about data mining that will come with that. I do not want my kids to share their emotions to to the software. I do not want our kids to communicate with each other using computers. I want them to develop strong relationships with each other using words and, looking at each other. I do not see the need of spending $1 million on something like this. I do agree with Jenna that, it would be nice to just give this money to teachers if you decided to waste it, but I guess there's not much that could influence this decision at this point.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else? Our next speaker, Jake Petrus.
Good evening. My name is Ana Maria. I'm a first grade parent, and I'm here to express my opinion against the health instruction Forever Ed for kindergarten through 5th grade. Majority of the content is focused on mental health and retraining the child's mind to instill an idea that there is not a higher purpose for their life. Training the child to think they're not unique in God-likeness and image, but instead that they're a victim of their emotions. In each grade, there is a content that is inappropriate for their age level, introducing the idea of anxiety and worry to a kindergarten. It is important to note that parental role is also diminished, and while the role of a trusted adult is introduced. Overall, the content of Clever Ed is less health-related and more of an emotional evaluation that focuses on directing a child's mind and removing the core values that America has been rooted in since its founding. Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity. I'm Jake Petrus, 2774 Bandelier Lane, Frisco. I'm here strongly to support Dr. Walters to be the Texas Association Board Superintendent of the Year. And I want to start off by thanking Dr. Walter for everything that he's done for our community, for over the last 20 years, minus the 3-year. I'm a father of 2 beautiful girls in 2nd and 3rd grade in Frisco ISD. We moved here for the school district. To say that we're happy, it would be an absolute understatement. After hearing some of the comments tonight, it feels like I live in a different planet. I pick up my girls every day from school, ask how their day is, ask who they play with, what they have for lunch, what they learned. Never have I heard something that caught me off sides or concerned me. I've seen the content in these 2 books on social media. It's disgusting. I'm really disappointed that it slipped through the cracks, but it's 1 million books, y'all. This isn't a systematic problem. It's a grading problem with the vendors, and I'm incredibly pleased with the proactive approach you all took with this. And I'm very pleased with the proactive approach that you guys took and the checks and balances that you took for us to be able to make submissions online and fix that problem before anyone had an opportunity to come up here and make a big speech about it. So I want to strongly recommend that the board supports Dr. Waldrop in this great accolade. I think he's done a wonderful job for our district and our family specifically.
That is the end of our public comment section of the meeting. We'll move on to item 12A. Consider an act on approval of minutes for March 21st regular meeting and March 29th special meeting. Board